guys, I thought I would just do a little impromptu video here as I'm getting ready for work and just kind of show you with my stash items, give you an idea of how getting ready for work has looked for me lately since I can't do full makeup. I mean, I could, but it would be hidden under my mask and just get my mask all dirty, so please tell me what the point is of that. So I have my little Salty But Sweet bag here filled with all my stuff. I pulled out kind of what I'm going to need. So that was my eyeshadow primer. And I thought we would just chat a little bit and, you know, see, I don't know. I don't really know what. My neighbor's mowing. I didn't bother to tell anyone in my family that I'm recording right now, so chances are decent that somebody will talk to me through the door or yell or who knows? Who knows? It's just, you know, it's fun and adventurous. Not really. So I'm going to use my Maybelline Lemonade and Soda Pop palettes, just kind of in conjunction with each other. I thought I would just do something very simple and go from there. Oh, there's an eyelash. When I recorded my Shop My Stash video, I mentioned that we had plans to go camping June 1st through 7th, but that our governor had extended our stay-at-home order and through the 12th and to June 12th instead of May 28th like it had been, and we were still waiting to hear back from the campgrounds that my husband's parents and my parents both have memberships to these campgrounds, so we can go to them for free, which is amazing. And so we were waiting to hear back from them if they were going to be able to open and have, you know, that we'd still be able to camp. Well, probably about 15 minutes after I finished recording that, we got the news that, in fact, no, we cannot camp. I'm annoyed. I don't know, like, I feel like we have been one of the strictest states. I realized we were one of the states hit the hardest with this, so I get it, why they're being cautious and everything, but camping, I mean, really, like, so now we can be in groups of 10, but you're still supposed to be 6 feet apart from each other, and whatever. So I don't understand why, though, if I can be in a store surrounded by several other people, and I can go to a store every day if I want to. I can go to multiple stores every day if I want to, and be surrounded by tons of different people in an enclosed space. Please tell me why, then, you can't take your family and go to a campground where you have your own, you know, place that you stay, your own trailer, tent, whatever it may be. They have cabins there also. And be outside. So you're not even around other people. We are not like the type of people who are like, hey, we don't know you. Hi, neighbor, come sit at our campfire. This is not really our style. Now my parents aren't like that, but so it's not like when we go camping, we're like suddenly surrounded by and in close proximity to a bunch of other people. Like, we stay on our own campsite and, you know, play games and hang out, and we get it, like, the pool wouldn't be open and things like that, which is totally fine. Like, that makes sense. But to just not be able to go and camp, I feel like is totally and completely ridiculous. And I've been very good throughout this whole thing about, like, I want to follow rules, I want to keep myself and other people safe. I still feel that way, but I am feeling a little bit like some of the rules are getting a little bit ridiculous. And I'm a pretty patient person for the most part. I don't get too terribly riled about things, but there are people who do, and people are starting to get ticked, like feeling like there's like some advantage being taken of the situation, and, you know, we're not being allowed to do anything, and yet certain things are being allowed to be open if they benefit certain people. We'll just say that. And so that's very frustrating to people, and especially people like me who are rule followers anyway and have been doing what I've been asked to do the whole time while still having to go out and work with the public all the time. I can go work all day and be around a bunch of people, but I can't go camping and be outside with my family. I don't get it. I really do not get it at all. It's extremely frustrating. This particular like campground association thing has places all over the US, so many other places that they have are open. So we could, like drive down to Ohio and stay there, but that's not realistic, and I don't think we need to be traveling to other like states and stuff right now, because I feel like that's when issues start arising, when we're all just traveling around places and potentially spreading something. But I don't even know at this point. I feel like I'm getting I was very cautious and I'm, like I said, obviously would not want to do anything that could potentially get somebody sick or anything like that. But I just am feeling a little bit like we're kind of past that point, and if some things are opening up, I feel like, like some places, restaurants are open at half capacity. Why can you be in a restaurant with people but not be at a campground? Please, somebody tell me the campground thing. Please give me a good reason for that, because I really feel like there isn't one. So the extra frustrating part about that is I had already taken that time off work because obviously I thought we were going, and now I'm like, that schedule, has already come out. So then I was like telling my boss, like, well, now we don't get to go, so if there's a way to work me into the schedule, like, could you do that? Because now I don't want to take off a week if I'm not going anywhere, because then once we can go somewhere, we are going to be going somewhere. So I don't know. It's just all a little bit on the frustrating side, as you could maybe tell. I mean, I would think anyone who camps and is in this situation and stuff would be frustrated, because it's like, what is the big deal? I just want to camp. I just want to get away from our house for a little bit, and like, my kids would love a change of scenery, and I don't have little kids, but like, my boys have longboards, and they would love to like go to the campground and be able to ride their longboards around, and simple things like that like can keep people from losing their minds right now and are being stuck at home, and we can't even do something that simple. I think it's kind of ridiculous. And so that's all I will say about that. You guys let me know what you think about that situation. If you can tell me some great reason why you think campground should still be closed, I would love to hear it, because I don't think there is one. But so now I'm hoping I can get back on the work schedule. Otherwise, I am off for a week for no reason, where, our company I work at is being so generous and giving the people who are still working, if you're a cashier, which I'm just a cashier, we get an extra $1 an hour. Thanks. Well, I don't even want to get into that either. There's so many things that it's just like kind of frustrating right now, that the people who have continued working, like, the benefit we're getting from doing that is so minuscule, while the store we work at is making tons of money, since we were one of the essential businesses that was open. So you'd think they could do a little better than an extra $1 an hour that's taxed, by the way. So, it's like, I don't know, it kind of feels almost a little bit insulting, like, oh, great, you put yourself at risk during this whole thing. Let me give you an extra $1 an hour. Not even because of taxes. You guys, I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just saying how I feel. Alright. I'm going to do... I like to do my under eye before I do my... No, I like to do my foundation and stuff before I do my under eyes. So this is what I've been doing. I'm actually not going to maybe talk through this part so that it's just a little bit faster. Well, I don't know. I guess I can. It's not going to take too long. So I'm just going to use this. Like I said, it's all products that are in my stash. So here's this. And this is all I do because this is the only area that gets covered in anything really where I need it to stick. So, and then I've got my foundation. So other than that, we had to cancel my son's graduation party for sure. We pretty much knew that was happening anyway. So when I sent out his invitations for it, I also included a note in it saying, obviously, considering the circumstances right now, we'll have to wait and see if it's able to happen. And we had already decided we would not be rescheduling if it wasn't, because it's just too hard. It's like this, where, you're making plans for things and then the stuff gets extended. And since there's only, right now, 10 people allowed together in a group, well, obviously there's going to be like 150 or 200 people at this graduation party. So, and probably not all at the same time, because people kind of come and go, but we do ours, we do it at like a barn. Well, this is what we did with my oldest sons, and this was our plan for this one. At this awesome, like these nice exhibit barns at the fairgrounds in our county park. And we just do it from 2 to 5. So it's a nice short and sweet, clean up, go home. Because, well, actually we went back to my mom and dad's last time, and like close family came back there. But we don't drink, and so we don't want to facilitate an environment where people are drinking either. So that just worked out good for us. And so that was the plan this year as well. But even if she comes and says that she's not extending it past the 12th, there's no way she's going to say, and now we're going from 10 people in a group to 200. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, realistically, this is not going to happen. So we better just, call it what it is, that it's not happening. So I went ahead yesterday and sent out texts and stuff to everybody, emails, whatever I had to do to get a hold of certain people, to let them know that, in fact, the party is not happening. So, like I said, we kind of already knew that, but it's still, a bummer to, like, the finalization of it, like, no. So, we're going to try at some point during the summer to have just, like, my husband's, sisters and maybe brother. His brother lives in Ohio, though, so he might not be able to come. And their families, and his mom and dad and aunt. And then at my mom and dad's with all my aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff, to do a little something for him. But we will have to see, because we kind of made a tentative date for that too, for the end of June. But also, again, I told everybody, like, don't hold your breath though, because considering the way these things keep happening, that may not happen either. So it's just kind of a wait and see kind of game, and that's kind of an annoying place to be in. So that's kind of where we are with that. So I'm hoping, yes, that I can get put on the schedule for the week, even just a day or two, just something, so it's not like I'm just home for a week with nowhere to go and nothing to do. Like, I don't want to take a week off work with literally nowhere to go and nothing to do. Like, that's dumb, because then when the time rolls around when we can go, it's going to be like, oh, awesome. So now I've missed, and my boss is awesome, like, about, giving me the time off and whatever. So it's not that. It's just, I don't want to be that person who just keeps taking all this time, I don't. That's the only thing I hate about loose powder like that. And plus, since I wear another shirt. I can't just wear this shirt to work. But it is hot. It's like been in the 80s here, which is way too hot for me. It's supposed to go down to like the 60s. My nose is doing something weird. Down to the 60s this weekend, which I'm like, bring it on, kids, because I can't stand this heat. And we have air conditioning and it's on, but I get like so overheated so fast, and at work. So our, I don't want to say that for sure either, because, not for sure, I know this. Let me just say, our headquarters for where I work is in a different state. A state with a much warmer climate than ours. And they regulate our they're in control of our like heat and air and stuff. Bad idea. It is so dang hot at work. Like, you have sweat rolling down your back. It's miserable because for some reason they don't consider, I mean, right now in the 80s is a little bit different, although I didn't feel like the air was on the other day, but it's like they just don't, like 60s here is warm and you get hot easy, and they do not give us air conditioning when it's those temperatures, like high 60s. And so a couple days ago I was dying. I mean, my hair was wet. That's how sweaty I was. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't know how they expect people to work when you're that hot like that. Like last summer we had a storm that went through and it knocked out our air conditioning at work for like a week. And it was so hot. The one girl, the one day I was working, she was like, I might have to leave. I might just have to walk out because it was so bad. You were sweating. You thought you were going to pass out. And I'm like, I don't even understand how they're having people work when it's this hot. I don't know. But yeah. I love where I work, so I'm not complaining about, there's just some things that I think are run kind of weird. But I love my actual place where I work, and I really enjoy like the people I work with and stuff like that. So that part is good. But I think they could have been a little more generous to their employees who have stayed working through this, and I think they could let us regulate our own temperature in our store. Is that so much to ask? But yeah, I don't want to be sweating my Batuski off at work, but I probably will be since I'm sweating right now, since it's in the 80s. And like I said, they don't seem to really realize just how hot that is to us here. To us, that's like 100 there, I guess. And I say that with knowledge of it because I've spent time there when it's those temperatures, and I'm like, no, like I cannot, like a beautiful place to visit, could not live there. All right, so there's a little, I'm just doing a very, very simple look, as you can see. That's basically all I've been doing for work lately. And I'm sorry, because I feel like this is a very complainy video, but I don't really complain about stuff too much, and these are just things that are on my mind. You know, sometimes you get disappointed about things. That's life. But right now it's just like extra disappointing to have like some plans that you're like, oh, thank goodness, like we need this reprieve kind of thing, and then no. So that part is highly frustrating, and I think would be to anybody. All right, so that's about all I'm doing for eyeshadow, I do believe. And then I'm nervous about these. Oh, this spoolie is terrible. I haven't used it in so long. I don't remember on this Wet n Wild. It's like too fat and too soft or something. Like it needs to be longer, skinnier, and more bristly. Like not, oh gosh, I'm nervous about doing these brows. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to speed through this, or maybe just come back once the brows are done. Okay. Those bruggles? Those brows were a struggle. And I went ahead and used my e.l.f. brow mascara over them. But the shape of that pencil, I have not used that in so long that it's like, felt very strange. It was all new to me. I went ahead and did tightlined my upper lash line with the Smashbox liner, because I know a lot of times people do not like to see, I need to sharpen this. People tightline that upper lash line, which I get. I have a weird aversion a lot of times to watching people put their lip stuff on. Not really putting it on, but when they like talk while they're doing it and they're like doing a weird, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, stop. Okay, and then I will use this lash primer that I don't really feel like I'm a huge fan of, but then again, too, I don't think I was using the same mascara I am now, so maybe it was the mascara I was using it with. You never know. That would make an extra good reason to do Shop My Stash, so that you're, you know, trying stuff out with different things. But yeah, I close at work tonight. I'm loving that we're usually open till 10, but since this started, well, a couple weeks into it, I think, they had to start closing at 9 to the public so that we have the last hour for disinfecting and stuff like that. That has been amazing because, you know, so usually if you work a closing shift, you work till 10:15 and the store closes at 10. So then you're like trying to mop around people, and it's so frustrating when you're like cleaning floors and stuff and people are walking in, or it's like right at the end of the night, like 10 minutes before you close, and someone comes in with a cart. I'm like, ooh. Just so you know, if you go into stores and you're a person who does that, goes in right at the end of the night, the people that work there are probably irritated because you have all these things that you have to get done, and it's the fault of, you know, mostly just the way it's run, where you don't have the time to get to stuff and you're rushing, and then sometimes then you're stuck there later than your shift's supposed to be because you're trying to finish, you know, getting the stuff done that they expect you to do. But yeah, anytime, like when a store closes, like the last 15 minutes, just don't. Unless you're running in literally to grab like one or two things. Okay, do not grab a cart 15 minutes before a store is closing. The people in there, I promise you, are going, I want to scream. So having that last hour has been amazing because not only do we get to really sanitize everything, but we also get to do like a better job on the other things that we normally are supposed to be getting done but have a hard time like completing well, you know, and you're like rushing through them and stuff. And so that has been awesome to have that extra hour. And I'm so afraid, I know they will because of money, that once this is done, that they'll just put us back to closing at 10 and having our shift to 10:15. So I'm not looking forward to that, because right now that is so awesome knowing like, okay, at 9 the doors are locked, we can get stuff done. And ideally, my ideal job there, they don't have this type of a position, but if they did, would be working after hours, like a midnight shift, stocking and like cleaning and stuff like that. That would be my ideal, because where I work, you don't get to do just one job. You have to be a cashier and do stock and so like when you have tasks that you have to finish and you're, you know, have like this list of stuff, you're trying to do things around the store, but you also have to be aware of the register and if people are up there and stuff. So you're constantly being pulled away from what you're doing, and I can't stand that. Like when I have a task, I just want to work on that. You know what I mean? And so I ideally, or I love days like if we're training somebody or something like that, and we get to like they go on register and I get to just go do work on task things. That is totally my thing. I don't really want to work register, and I just want to go like, I'm task oriented. I want to do tasks. So yeah, like some people are really social and love to like interact with people, and I mean I like it, and especially like we have some, you know, regulars who I just like love, you know, and have developed kind of friendships with these people, and I enjoy that. But overall, I would much rather just be I'm an introvert, so I would rather just be doing my own thing. But so yeah, so we close at 9 and I work till 10, but I'm doing stuff on my own, tasks. I love that. Okay, so I am going to end up just pulling my hair up because, like I said, it is super hot, and there's not a chance now at work of being able to wear my hair down because it's just way too hot. But that is my finished look. Super simple. Took me way longer than it normally would because I'm chit-chatting. And so now I need to hurry up and get my hair done and eat before I have to run to work. But I just thought I would chat with you guys. Let me know what you think about those things that I talked about. And yeah, like I said, not to be a complainer, but it's just stuff that's like frustrating to me right now. So I just felt like sharing. All right, I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.